Hello everyone! I decided to talk about tattoos. They're actually surprisingly controversial in America. I love tattoos. I have one myself. You know what? Right here on the screen somewhere, there will be a photo. I love my tattoo. I like tattoos enough that I got one. So I decided to kind of talk about, tips for tattoos, kind of what's so controversial about them, why they're such a huge deal to people who don't have tattoos. I don't know. I don't understand that. I don't understand why it bothers people so much what someone else decides to put on their body. I got my tattoo in late January, early February. I talked to not so much my mom, but my dad about like the reasoning behind my tattoo. I wanted it for 2 years before I got it. That exact tattoo, exactly where I got it. You need to, before you make any decisions about getting tattoos, make sure it's something that you really want. It doesn't even have to mean much. I want flowers right here. Flowers don't really mean much to me. I just think they're pretty, and part of why I haven't gotten them yet is it's a lot of money. Like my small tattoo was $50, which is the shop minimum where I went. But it's also, I want to make sure that I'm gonna want it in 50 plus years. So I think the recommendation is wait 1 or 2 years before you actually get that tattoo. Most people don't do that. Mine took a week and a half to heal, but when I got it, the guy said it would take like 2 to 4 weeks to heal. I guess I just heal quickly. Don't panic when the top layer of ink falls off. It's because it's on top of your skin. I started to panic. I was like, oh god, I paid $50 and my tattoo is fading already. It's because it's on the top, it's above your skin. It's supposed to come off. At least I think it is. I was told that the ribs are really painful to get your tattoos on. It didn't really bother me. It stung, but it didn't really hurt. I have a friend who just got a tattoo there, and she wasn't bothered by it either. Maybe it's your pain tolerance, body type as well. Although I don't really have, there's no meat between my skin and my ribs, so it's probably not body type. It's probably just entirely based off of pain tolerance. I recommend getting it at the end of the summer / any time other than when it's going to be summer and you're going to be in the sun a lot, because sun is bad for it. You also can't go near in salt water, because that's bad for it as well. It makes it fade faster. So I got mine in the dead of winter, also because my parents couldn't stop me and I had money, which I'm kind of an ass. I purposefully sent my parents a super zoomed in photo so they thought my tattoo was my entire rib cage and not just yay big. But in terms of care, they say to use antibacterial soap to wash it once the first day and then 3 or 4 times after that every day. Or 3 or 4 times every day after that, until it's healed. I picked up this because it was the first soap with antibacterial hand soap. It was the first soap with antibacterial hand soap in it. It was the first soap I saw that said antibacterial, and it was relatively inexpensive, and I trust soft soap. So I don't use it anymore. I used it pretty much until the end of the semester, which I know you don't have to do, but I was paranoid about things going wrong, as I always am. So I used it for 3 or 4 months. Just every time I showered. It stayed in my shower caddy. They also say to moisturize it. I forget how often you need to moisturize it because I got mine so long ago now. I say so long ago, it wasn't even a year ago. But it's permanently part of my body, so it's weird to think of time like that it hasn't always been there. Like, that's weird to me. Like, I haven't even had it for a year. And it's just like, I don't know, it's weird. But this isn't what I got for my tattoo. They recommend Aquaphor. I had a shea butter lotion from Sephora that I used, which was really good on it. I had originally, the guy said anything generic like Jergens or like Nivea or anything like that you can use. So I got a Jergens one, not realizing it had citrus in it. Ow. It hurt so bad. It hurt more than actually getting the tattoo itself, because tattoo, you think about it, like, it's basically like one giant cut, except it doesn't, no, it does bleed. It bleeds at first. But it's like one giant cut on your body that you're willingly putting there because the needle just keeps going in. This works as well. This is the Vaseline Intensive Care Cocoa Radiant with pure cocoa butter. Yeah, anything with like the word butter in it, any kind of like body butter is probably good. Aquaphor is what they recommended, like I said. Make sure there's no citrus in it because it hurts. There was also something else that they said can't be in it, but I forget because I'm stupid. But that's stuff that they'll tell you when you go get your first tattoo if they're a good artist. Also make sure that they are using clean needles. You don't want to get an infection. Oof. Clean needles. They put on gloves where I went. They did something else that way you knew it was clean. Everyone at the tattoo place that I went to, I say go to, I've been there like 4 times between like booking appointments, getting mine, having a friend get hers. And they're all like super chill and super nice. I like the atmosphere. I love seeing the ink that people are getting. I think it's cool. I think it says a lot about a person, the stuff that they're willing to put on their body. Tattoos are artwork, which is also part of why I don't understand why they're so controversial. I mean, if you're gonna get like no regrets tattooed on your body, that I can understand. There are some people out there with some pretty stupid tattoos. I've heard horror stories of people going in with like a picture and then the tattoo comes out nothing like the picture. Do your research. I heard from multiple people that the place that I was going to was reliable and good. I met with the artist. He showed me his sketch before he put it on my body and it came out perfectly. Exactly how I wanted it. But I don't understand why they're so controversial for people. Like, I'm not gonna name names, but my dad has been asked why he would be okay with me getting a tattoo, and my dad's response was appropriately, she's my 20-year-old daughter. No one can see her tattoo. I'm pretty sure the tattoo is the least of my worries. I was like, yes. To a certain extent, I can understand the professionalism, unless you're a musician or a professional athlete or like an artist of some sort. If you're gonna be working in a professional environment, make sure that you can keep your tattoos covered. So all of the tattoos that I want will be very easy for me to cover. I don't want any tattoos lower than like my elbow. No, it's the inside of my elbow because the one that I want is here. So if you can keep them covered, like, do do that. I'm not a huge fan of the head tattoos. They kind of freak me out a little bit, actually. There are some tattoos that freak me out. I don't recommend getting faces. I don't recommend getting humans on your body at all, really, because they get distorted. They typically don't come out as you would hope they would. I don't know. I love tattoos. I don't understand why people hate them so much and why some people have such a huge issue with them, especially if, like, it's not your money, it's not your body. I'd much rather, I don't know, when I have kids, I'd much rather them be getting tattoos than spending their money on drugs. And I know people who refuse to let their kids get tattoos because, like, oh, there's, you know, why would you ever spend your money on that? But their kids go and buy drugs all the time. A lot of people, it's the image. They have issues with the image that you put out when you have tattoos, which I also don't understand, because if it's a good tattoo and it's, like, meaningful and it's well done, then it shouldn't matter. People should be amazed that someone could do artwork like that on a body. Tattoos are incredibly hard to do. Like, kudos to tattoo artists everywhere. Like, you've managed to make human bodies canvases, and they move, and skin tones are all different. I like to say one of the few good uses of my pale skin, apart from privilege, is ink sits well in it. It comes out much more pigmented, which is nice. Also, typically a lot of the people that have issues with tattoos that I've met are like hoity-toity, like Barbie and Ken types. Like, I don't know, it's gonna sound bad and I don't want to say it, but a lot of them are like, I don't want to say privileged white people, but like older. Like, a lot of the parents in the town that I live in have issues with tattoos and, like, flip out over them. And I live in suburbia, full of Barbie dolls in their dream houses and their Kens. So, like, those types of people I find are the people that have issues with tattoos. I don't think it's fair to pass judgment on a tattoo if you don't know the story behind it or why that person got it. I don't think that's fair. I think a lot of the issues with tattoos being so controversial is because people pass judgment on it and they don't understand it. It's a form of expression. It's the same as, you know, writing a song, except you put the lyrics on your body instead of paper. I will never understand why people are so bothered by tattoos, but that's also because I'm not, and I'm not bothered by them, and I can see where people are coming from when they get their tattoos. Typically. Don't be that drunk idiot. Actually, I'm pretty sure legally artists cannot tattoo drunk people. The alcohol screws with the ink. So I'm pretty sure legally, like, you can't get a tattoo when you're drunk. And tattoo artists are artists, believe it or not. They're artists. Tattoos are artwork. Some of the more difficult artwork that I've ever seen. If you doubt that, go watch Ink Masters. Love that show so much. I had to wait until after I got my tattoo to watch it, though, because I knew that if I watched it, I would chicken out of getting my tattoo, because there are some very screwed up tattoos on that show. I would also never go on that show to be like a human canvas, because yes, you get a free tattoo out of it, but you don't know the artist that you're gonna get. You don't know what they've done. You don't know what they're good at. You don't know how it's gonna come out. So I can't think of anything else. Just take care of it. Listen to the artist. You don't want to get an infection. Make sure everything is clean and sanitary. And I will never understand people who have such huge issues with tattoos, but that's just me. So I guess that's just kind of the gist of tattoos and what I've learned through the process of getting a tattoo and dealing with people who have issues with my tattoo. I think the best comment I've ever received is, well, I don't like tattoos, but I guess yours is fine. Everyone else who's seen it is like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like, I checked with like so many people. I showed it to my parents. Okay, not my mom. I showed it to my dad. I told my mom about it. I showed it to all of my friends. I got it okayed by like people who weren't my friends, and I was like, what do you think of this? Because it's gonna be on my body forever. I asked around about a couple different tattoo places. Yeah. Maybe I'll let you know when I get my next tattoo, which probably won't be for a while because, you know, broke college student. Alright, I will see your faces in the next video. Or you will see mine because technically you are a camera. Alright, I'm gonna stop talking now. Bye!